Labor is not a hoe. Oh my God, did that really just happen? Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Ombre Okay, and today I am coming to you guys with a labor and delivery video. I just wanted to do like a story time to talk about my labor and delivery experience. I just had my baby. He's literally a month old now, and he's grown up so fast. In this video, I'm really just going to keep it real, talking to you guys about things that I would suggest you would look out for. But yeah, it's been a roller coaster, like a roller coaster. I'm literally going to be just talking about my labor and things leading up to the delivery process, if in case a lot of moms out there are wondering. So just fasten your seatbelts, okay? We're going to get into it. I don't have much time. I literally ransacked my whole room so that I can get this video done, because I've been thinking about it every day since I had my baby. Like, I just want to record, because this is something that's good for my mental health, and it makes me feel good, and it makes me feel more connected to the world and to you guys. So shout out to the 2 new subscribers that we have on this channel. Love you. Thank you for subscribing. And shout out to all the subscribers that have stayed subscribed to this channel. I'm literally so excited about this channel because my baby's growing, and I'll be able to do more mommy content coming soon. I do have a vlog that I'm working on right now to upload, well, to edit and upload. But you know, mom life is just crazy. He's a newborn, so just give me some time and I will make sure that I get that footage out to you guys. So thanks for supporting me. If you're coming from my other channel, thank you. Thank you for supporting me on that channel. I do plan on coming back to that channel. I just have to figure out a way to do it differently, because I don't have a lot of time to just sit down and do a lot of research and record and things like that. So just bear with me if you're coming from the other channel watching this video. But make sure you subscribe to this one, because like I said, this is about my life, so I'm going to be on here more. So anyway, yeah, let's really just get into the video. Okay, if you know me and you're coming from the other channel, get your iced coffee, okay? Because labor is not a hoe. And what I mean by that is it is intense. It's very stressful. It's a lot of things going on. It's a lot of people in the room, just, you know, just in general, okay? I'm going to start off talking about raspberry leaf tea and if it works or not. I do believe that it works. I do believe that it works. I started drinking it at 38 weeks, and it did thin out my cervix. By the time I started dilating to 4 centimeters, my cervix was 70% thinned out. So that's bomb. Like, that's bomb. What's blocking it is the cervix. So it has to be thinned out in order for the baby to come out easier. So mine was 70% thinned out, which was good. So I would say it does work. My honest advice would be to just start drinking it before 38 weeks. Like, start drinking it at 34 or 30. Well, maybe not. Start drinking it at like 36 or 37 weeks, because you don't want to drink it too early and then you go into labor too early. Like, my goal was to get to 39 weeks so that I knew that my baby was completely developed. His lungs were completely developed, because I knew it would be safe. I didn't want to have him too soon. I didn't want my cervix to be thinned out too fast. So I would say start drinking it at like 36, 37 weeks. But I would say it does work. So the thing that I would also suggest before we get right into my story is to walk. I did not walk a lot in my pregnancy, and I think that that's why I dilated so slow, and I'm going to get into that as well. I would definitely say walk. If you don't walk most of your pregnancy, walk like leading up to your labor, because it's going to definitely help. It'll definitely help you start dilating fast. I heard people say that, but I didn't really. Child, I didn't feel like it. I did not feel like it. But I would definitely say walk. Like, it's a must. It's gonna help. It's a must. Get that exercise in. Do what you gotta do. So let's just talk a little bit about my labor and delivery. So I talked about it a little bit in the last vlog. If you didn't watch that, make sure you go watch that. It's really, really nice. Talk a little bit about the beginning part of my labor. So I was 39 weeks, and as soon as I got to 40 weeks, that's when I started to dilate. I stayed at home for 6 to 12 hours like my OB told me to, but the contractions were getting so bad. I started feeling the contractions on September the 30th. My due date was October the 1st. So I felt like it made sense. I thought I was going to have the baby on my due date because it was just happening that way, but it didn't end up happening. I ended up having him a day after my due date. So I started dilating that day. I literally felt the contractions. I couldn't sleep the night before. And then I started feeling the contractions at like 9 in the morning. So I stayed home the whole day until that nighttime. And then I went to the hospital around like 10 that night because I couldn't take the contractions no more. They were hurting. So I went to the hospital. Then they monitored me and told me that I was only at 4 centimeters. So they wanted me to stay 2 hours to see if anything changed. And they put me on the monitors. They have a monitor that monitors your heart rate and the baby's and then the contraction. So them contractions kept coming, and they wanted me to lay on my side, and it hurt so bad. Nothing changed after 2 hours. So after 2 hours, they basically said, we're going to send you home. You have an appointment with your clinic tomorrow, so just go to your appointment and do your follow-up and see how everything is. Home after they sent me home at like 2 or 3 in the morning. So I tried to lay down. I tried to sit up and lay down. That didn't work. I was in a lot of pain. But around 5:40, 5:30 in the morning, my water broke. So it was like a gush. Like you'll know when your water breaks because it's like a gush of water. And it doesn't stop. It just keeps going and keeps going. My water broke literally all over my bed. Like I could not stop it. I was in shock too. So I sat there. I laid there for a second like, oh my God, did that really just happen? So I went and got up, and it kept coming, all over my covers, all over the bed. I tried as much as I could to get off the bed, get to the bathroom, and the rest of it came out in the toilet. So I felt something like kind of thick coming out too, and that was apparently the mucus plug. And you'll know what the mucus plug is because it's bloody, it's thick, and it looks like snot. Like that's exactly what it looks like. It looks like a thick piece of snot, and it's gonna come out, and that's like basically the cork that comes out of you, and then the water breaks. So it was hanging. So I went to kind of pull it out, and I saw that it was like bloody, it was thick, it was mucusy. So I knew that was the mucus plug. So right after that, mind you, this was 5:45 in the morning of October the 1st. So this was my due date. So after that, I didn't want to just rush to the hospital because I heard you ain't supposed to do that. So I got in the tub from 6 in the morning to 8 in the morning. I got in the tub. I think at 8. Yeah. I think 8. Either I stayed until, I think I stayed until 8 o'clock in the tub. And that really worked. That helped like subside the contractions. I regretted doing that. I would say when you first feel the contractions starting to get, a little intense, just get in the tub. Don't rush to the hospital unless you can't breathe through the contractions, because they'll start to kick your ass and you'll know like you need to go to the hospital. But don't rush to the hospital because they're going to send you home like they did me. It's just I didn't know. This was my first pregnancy. I didn't know how bad it was going to get or how the contractions were going to feel. So I would definitely say wait it out as long as you can, because they're going to send you home. I will also say once you feel the contractions in your ass, like I felt them in my ass, like in my booty hole, like it hurt so bad. But once you feel that, then go to the hospital. I didn't feel it in my booty for a long time. Like I just felt it in the bottom of my stomach, like pressure. And a pre-labor contraction is going to feel like your stomach is tightening. Like it'll turn into like this. It'll get hard and then it'll tighten and then it'll loosen up. And it'll tighten for 30 seconds and then it'll loosen up. That's basically what it feels like. I ain't never gonna forget that. I know a lot of people that be like, oh my God, like I'll do it again, because I felt like, I forgot what the pain was like. I'll never forget that type of pain. Anyway, yeah, I went to the hospital at 10 o'clock on October the 1st, and I was still at 4 centimeters. I was like, damn, I didn't even dilate. It only kept me because my water broke. I stayed in the hospital the whole day. Then I want to say towards the nighttime, I think that's when things started to intensify. I didn't start dilating on my own, so they gave me Pitocin. And Pitocin is basically some medicine that is going to speed up your contractions, and it's supposed to help you dilate faster. So they gave me that. Once they gave me that, the contractions got so much worse. So whenever you get Pitocin, it's going to make the contractions happen a lot faster. It's going to hurt more, and hopefully you dilate. I wasn't dilating fast enough because the pain was so intense that I was like, you know what? Give me the fucking epidural. I really did not want to have the epidural. If you know me, then you know that I was in a major car accident when I was around 25, and I didn't even know if I could have children, to be honest. Like, it was that bad that I thought that I wouldn't be able to have like a vaginal birth. So bad that I lost mobility in my legs. So I couldn't walk for almost a year. I couldn't walk. So I literally had to nurse myself back to health. That's a whole different video for a whole different story. But I basically did not want to have any type of medicine that would make me feel like I couldn't walk, because I've been through something like that before. But so I didn't want to have the epidural, but the pain was so bad and it was so intense, and I was still not dilating fast enough, that I just decided to go ahead and do the epidural. And what I would say about the epidural is that it does take the pain completely away. The only thing you have to be mindful about is that you need to stay still. Like, once they put that needle in your back, you can't move. You have to stay still. I've seen some horrible videos during my pregnancy of women that's like, looked like a woman was shaking, like as they was putting it in. So if you know that's you, then don't get the epidural. You're just gonna have to try to thug it out or something. But I stayed completely still for that. And it's hard because they have to give it to you while you're having a contraction. That's the part that's like crazy about the epidural, is that they have to do it like basically when you're having a contraction or in between or whatever. Don't quote me on that, but you have to basically try to stay as still as possible, so that, because it's your spine, and if they put the needle in wrong, like, it could really mess up your ability to walk. So it's very important that you stay still. Overall, like, the hospital staff was really nice. In the beginning, it was kind of weird. Like, when I first got to the hospital, the people at the front desk didn't know where to take me. They took me to the emergency. Well, I went through the, I didn't go through the emergency room. I went through the main entrance, and they took me to the emergency room. And it was all types of people going through all types of things in there. It wasn't nobody that was pregnant. So I was just like, what? It looked like Howard University. If you haven't been to Howard University Hospital, that's where I was born. But if you've ever been there and been to the emergency room, you know it is scary. You know somebody done died in there. Like, you feel like you ain't gonna make it out alive in that joint. So I got a little scared, like, why are they bringing me down here? They were supposed to bring me to labor and delivery, but the hospital staff was nice. Once, everything started happening, I felt comfortable up until this point. So as I got the epidural, I started to dilate. I used the peanut ball. That seemed to really, really help with my dilation. So we used the peanut ball in between my legs, and then I really couldn't move. I couldn't feel no pain. The contractions was happening. It was like, what contraction? I didn't feel nothing, because I was feeling it right before I got it. I waited till I couldn't take it no more. And this was pain for 2 days. Like, I was in pain for 2 days before I got the epidural. So I felt like a champ because of that, but started to dilate a lot faster, which was great. Then my baby's heart rate started to drop, and not fast or anything like that, but it started to kind of dip a little bit. So they were concerned, but they didn't make it like a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were looking at it, but they didn't They weren't making it like a big deal until his heart rate went up too high. My heart rate went up too. And it was a lot going on that I'm not going to discuss because it's personal. It was a lot of other things that were happening as well as, me going into labor. So all I'm going to say about that is just really make sure that you have people in the room that are attentive to you and are helping you and are being an advocate for you, because it could really, be the difference in what happens. But my blood pressure went up, his blood pressure went up. So then they sent a doctor in to talk to me about potentially having a C-section. And I was like, what? They checked me first and told me that I was 9 centimeters. So y'all know you get to 10 centimeters, it's time to push. So I was like, we're at 9 centimeters. Why would I need a C-section? And they were basically talking about the blood pressure and them being worried about it. And I'm like, no, the blood pressure can change. Let's wait it out. It was literally like 4 or 5 in the morning at this point, and they were talking about me having a C-section. So of course, if it was totally necessary, I was gonna be with it, because it's about the baby and the baby's health at the end of the day. But I just felt like it was too soon. It was too much pressure to have to do that. So I knew it was gonna be a mistake. I knew that wasn't what God had planned for me and the baby. And I was like, no, I can push him out. It's not giving C-section. No, we're not doing that. I felt a lot of pressure to do a C-section, and I didn't think that it was necessary. And he explained to me hours before that same day that a C-section would basically only happen if there was dramatic complications in the labor, and most of those complications would be me not dilating, like me being stuck at 4 centimeters or me being stuck at 6 centimeters, and I was at 9 centimeters. So I was just like, there's no reason for me to get a C-section. We could wait. His blood pressure will be fine, and so will mine. Like, we can wait and let things calm down, and then we can do this. So my nurse, she was an angel. I made sure to write her like a note and everything. Like, before I left, I made sure to write her a note, because she literally was there for me like a family member, and she was not feeling it. She was like, no, I don't think that you should do a C-section. I mean, she was like, I mean, it's your body, you can do what you want, but I just want to get a second opinion. So she went to go get a second opinion. My girl pulled up, sister girl at that, but she pulled up, and it's just because it's a lot going on with black women and C-sections and dying in labor because of a C-section. And I automatically was like, that's like a worst case scenario for me. I did not want to have no C-section. The doctor tried to pressure me into getting one, and I was not with that, and neither was his father. He was not with that either. So we waited it out, and I ended up pushing him out in 45 minutes, and he was born at 10:36 on October the 2nd, and he's a beautiful baby. He looks just like me. He looks just like his dad. I had his dad play Michael Jackson's Off the Wall album, so we played the whole album. By the end of the album, he was born. It was just, I couldn't believe it. I was in shock, to be honest. Like, that was my reaction to him coming out of my hoo-ha, was like, this is real. Like, I was really shocked. Like, it took me a minute. Like, I literally took a minute. My mom had to nudge me and be like, say something to him, because I was just in shock. Like, I couldn't believe that I just had a baby. Eating during labor, I would suggest not to. I see why they tell you not to, because I think I ate something while I was in labor, like when my labor was starting. And it's like, you just feel weird down there. It's very uncomfortable to have to poop when you're having contractions. It's just painful. I will say that I didn't really eat during labor, but you can eat. Not no meal. You can eat snacks or whatever, things that's gonna give you energy. Like, post recovery part was probably the best part of my labor and delivery, because it just was nice. Like, the food was good, because you have to stay in the hospital for like 2 days. So the nurses were really attentive, and they were very helpful with like giving me information on breastfeeding. My experience overall was really good. It's just that pressure of having a C-section was probably the worst part. and the part that like stressed me out a little bit. I did get diagnosed though with gestational hypertension, so they sent me home with a blood pressure monitor thing, so I have to do it every day. I have not been active on that, and I need to change that because I have to check it every day and every night, but it's hard with a newborn baby. It's hard to do. It's noisy, so I try not to do it in the same room. I try to get somebody to watch him so I can do it, but I need to be up on that because it's very important. So I'm going to be monitoring my own blood pressure for 12 weeks. So I'm just glad it's not preeclampsia, but it can turn into preeclampsia. So it's very important to just watch it. And you can't get preeclampsia after you give birth and not during your birth. I didn't have preeclampsia, or I had like high blood pressure a little bit, but not that serious. After birth, my legs were swollen a little bit, but it went down. Give you everything you need at the hospital. You don't really need to bring a lot of the stuff, but I did, like, post me coming home, I did buy a few things for recovery. I bought some diapers, and I'll put a picture up here of what they look like. I bought some diapers. I bought some of these little pad thingies that they give you, and they tell you to take everything home. So all the baby stuff that they leave in there, the wipes, everything. I took all the ice packs. I took the receiving blankets. I took everything from the hospital, and that really helped a lot when I came home. I think that's going to be the end of the video. If you guys have any questions, or if it's anything that I missed, please leave it in the comments and I will answer it for you guys. It's Ombre, okay? I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.